Well, happy Friday to everybody. Hope you're doing well on this Friday, end of the week, and final game of the July 8th schedule, 1987, 578 overall in the replay. We're at the Kingdom in Seattle. Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Seattle Mariners. Kingdom is very homer friendly, 1 to 17 both sides of the plate and 1 to 5 for singles. Seattle actually won this game real world 5 to 2 in 11 innings. Ray Quinones hit a walk-off three-run home run off of Dan Plesac, real world, to win the game 5 to 2. Milwaukee comes in 54 and 26. Seattle comes in 38 and 45. Pitching matchup: left-hander Teddy Higuera on the mound for the Brew Crew, and right-hander Mike Moore on the mound for the Mariners. We'll look at Higuera in the bottom of the first. Right now, we'll focus on the pitcher for Seattle, Mike Moore. And Mike Moore in 1987, 9 and 19 with a 4.71 ERA. On the replay, Mike Moore is 5 and 10 with a 4.62 ERA. So not that far off, actually, from his regular numbers. 111 innings pitched, 133 hits, 32 walks, and 56 strikeouts. A little bit of unusual lineup for the Brew Crew, as we have Rick Manning in the leadoff spot, playing right field. No Glenn Braggs today. No Mike Felder. Everything else is pretty much the same. For Seattle, they're mostly going with their right-handed hitting lineup with the lefty Higuera on the mound, so there's no Ken Phelps. There is no Mike Kingery. Only lefty in the lineup actually is going to be Alvin Davis, and that's it. They got Valley catching instead of Bradley, and so there you go. They're playing the right-handed side of the lineup. Good morning, Tribe fan. Good to see you. All right, so like I said, Rick Manning getting a rare start in this one. In the replays, had 53 at bats. He's hitting 302, no homers, 8 driven in. He only hit 238 real world, but of course, that's probably a product of just the 58 at bats. And so I'm sure that you would think that would level out as things get going there. Hello, Dr. D. Just in time, Dr. D, for the ceremonial first sip. Long-standing tradition on the morning games. And now we're ready to go. Rick Manning against Mike Moore. Oh, that one didn't go through. Hold on. Let's make sure we get it through the chute. There we go. 1-5 for Rick Manning against the right-hander, and he's going to strike out. So right off the bat, Rick Manning goes down on strikes to start the ball game. And that'll take us to Robin Yount. Yount will be on the All-Star team. In fact, the Brewers have quite a few All-Star members on the team. I'll officially announce the All-Star team probably on a separate video short or something, whatever you want to call it. But just for sneak preview purposes, I'll let you know who the Brewers and Mariners All-Stars are going to be. For the Brewers, we have B.J. Surhoff as the backup catcher to Matt Noakes. He will be the secondary catcher in the All-Star game. We also have Paul Molitor. He'll be on the All-Star team, as will so actually Robin Yount will not be on the All-Star team. I stand corrected. He will not be on the All-Star team. And Bill Wegman, a starting pitcher for the Brewers, he's 10-2. He will be on the All-Star team. And it will not be Dan Plesac from the Milwaukee bullpen. It'll be Mark Clear, who will be on the All-Star team. He's 2-3 with a 1.96 ERA and a couple of saves in the replay. So he gets the nod there. Seattle's only All-Star is going to be Harold Reynolds. He's hitting 305 on the replay. So he ekes out Marty Barrett. But I want to follow the All-Star rules of at least having one representative from each team. So it's either Mark Langston as a starting pitcher who would have to kick out. Oh, here comes a scam likely call coming in. Either Langston would have to kick out a starting pitcher that's on the list, or Reynolds would have to kick out Marty Barrett. And I thought Reynolds had just as good numbers as Marty Barrett. So that's why I went in that direction. So I stand corrected. Robin Yount is not going to be on the All-Star team, although he's having a great year. In the replay, he's hitting 321, 16 homers, 65 driven in, but they're just other guys with better years is all I can say about it. Get 312 real world. 5-4, and that's a ground ball third base X. We're looking at the hound dog, Jim Presley. 2E24 for Presley. And what do you know? We get a 1 right off the bat. Base hit. Base hit for Robin Yount. We'll check for an error. He's an E24 at third base. So he has to avoid 3, 9, 12, 15, and 18. And he does that, no error, but Robin Yount will reach. Now, Mike Moore has a -5 hold. He's a -4. Dave Valley's a -3 for a -7, but of course, -5 is the best you can have. So with that being factored in, Robin Yount has less than a 50% chance of being successful in this deal, so they will hold him at first base. He will not go anywhere. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Cecil Cooper, who's near the end of his career. In fact, by the All-Star break, he's probably done. He'll be stepping to the plate. He's hitting 215 on the replay, 10 homers, 31 driven in. He hit 248 real world. 1-9 for Cooper, and that's a fly to center field. Hauled in there by John Moses, 2 down. Bringing up cleanup hitter Greg Brock. He was also a candidate to be on the All-Star team, but just had 2 guys a little bit better than him, Wally Joyner and Eddie Murray. So he didn't make it. But he's hitting 333, 8 homers, 42 driven in on the replay, 299 real world. 2-5, and that is a ground ball to third to end the inning. And of course, Eddie Murray being on the team, that fulfills the requirement to have at least one Baltimore Oriole on the team, and he's definitely the only one even close for consideration. And he is a legitimate All-Star. So it's not like he's on there because he's for the Orioles. He's on there because he had a good year. So that's going to do it for the Brew Crew. They are done here in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first and we start looking at the Milwaukee pitcher, Teddy Higuera. And Higuera, let's look at his numbers. On the real season, Teddy Higuera was 18-10 with a 385 earned run average. On the replay, he is 8-5, ERA of 4.07, 128 innings pitched, 124 hits, 49 walks, 126 strikeouts. And he'll be facing John Moses, switch hitting center fielder for the Mariners. Moses hitting 242 on the replay, 3 homers, 35 driven in. He hit 246 real world. Switch hitter batting right-handed. 3-4 for Moses. He's going to pop it up to second. Jim Gantner is there. 1 away. Here's Phil Bradley, left fielder. He is the Joe Carter of the Seattle Mariners, as he is the ultimate underperformer. He had 297 real world, but in the replay, he's hitting 235, 9 homers, 32 driven in. That's a 4-7, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. We're checking Gantner. He's a 2E14. 2E14 for Gantner. 2 and a 7. He'll get to that. E14 just has to avoid 15, 16, and 18, basically. 15, 16, and 18. Ooh, 17. He barely did it, but he makes the play. 2 up, 2 down, and that will take us to Dave Valley, catcher, hitting in the third position. Valley hitting 226 on the replay, 5 homers, 20 driven in. He hit 256 real world. That's a 6-4. Ground ball third base X, we're looking at Ernie Riles. He's a 4E28. 4 and 8 might get through. We'll see. 4 and an 8. Nope, it's a G3. He'll get to it. He is an E28 at third base. He's got to avoid 11, 13, 14, and 15. 11, 13, 14, and 15. And barely does it again, but barely still counts. And that'll end the inning. So nothing doing for the Mariners. We played 1 here at the Kingdome, and it's no score. Brewers and Mariners. And these games are on Wednesday, so new series will begin starting next week on July the 9th, the Thursday date. First game on Monday will be Kansas City at Toronto. At least I think that's on the schedule. It could be Chicago and Baltimore. I mean, it could be Minnesota and Baltimore. It's one of those two. I don't remember which one I had set up first. Anyway, we'll worry about that on Monday. So, top of the second, and we are looking at Rob Deere. Deere's playing in left field for this one. Hitting 241, 9 homers, 37 driven in. He hit 238 real world. It's a 4-3. Ballpark single check, not as good, only 1-5. Only a 1-5. And that's an 11, so he will line it to short. Snagged by Quinones, one away. And that'll send up DJ Surhoff. Again, he is on the All-Star team. He's hitting 307, 7 homers, 29 driven in. He hit 299 real world. Oh, didn't need a D20. Nobody's on base. All right, here we go. 6'10 lefty. Look at this. 1-7 is a home run. 8-20, it's a double. And that's gone. BJ Surhoff. That's home run number 8 for him. He only had 7 real world, so he's already surpassed his real world numbers on home runs. And he's barely a little over halfway of his at bats. So he's showing the power. Actually, no, he's not. I take it back. I stand corrected. I'm glad I checked. Didn't presume, I hate the word you use, assume, because you know what happens when you assume. But and maybe I was doing that. I stand corrected. Yes, the 6'10 is an in-home run chance, 1-7, and that is a 5. But BJ Surhoff has weak power against right-handers. So this will turn into a single, not a home run. So I stand corrected. BJ Surhoff's kind of backwards. He's got normal power against lefties, but weak power against righties. So it's kind of opposite of what you would think. But hello, SOM. But at least we got it right. So that's the main thing. It may have taken a second, but we got it right. And BJ Surhoff is at first base where he ought to be. Now, the hold rating again, Mike Moore is a -5, so Surhoff's not going to think about doing any running here. And here comes Ernest Riles, third baseman. Limited duty, very limited duty. He's only had 26 at-bats on the replay. He's hitting 115. No homers, 2 driven in, but he did hit 261 real world. And that is a 1-9 for Riles, and that's a pop-up to short. Quinones is there, 2 down. So 2 down, and that's going to send us to second baseman Jim Gantner. Gantner on the replay is hitting 288, 4 homers, 25 driven in. He hit 272 real world. 5-7, and that is a single to right field. See if Surhoff can take third base. He's a 12, not being held as a 13. Oh, he was being held. I'm sorry, he was being held. Makes him 11. But +2 going from right field to third base is a 13. Right fielder, though, Brantley is a -2, makes it a 1 to an 11. But you would have Dale Swain coming up, so I think they're going to hold Surhoff. They don't want him thrown out at third base. He's already in scoring position at second base, so there's really no reason to go there. So now you got Dale Swain coming up, and he very well could be on the All-Star team, but that shortstop position this year was just loaded, so he didn't make it. But he very well could have. He's hitting 326 on the replay, 18 homers, 56 driven in. He hit 252 real world. Clutch situation for Swain, and he gained some hits here, 1-4 and 110, and also 310. And that's a 3-5, and that'll be a triple 1-2 and a double 3-20. And that's a double. It's assumed to go to center field. That could score Gantner as well. We'll take a look. Gantner as a trail runner was not being held. So let's see. He's a 13. Trail runner not being held is a 14. 2 outs is a 16. Center field arms is 0. So 1-16, they're going to send him. And the Mariners will throw the plate 1-16, and he's in there. So it's an RBI 2-run double, actually, from Dale Swain. So maybe he's bucking to join that also. Maybe I'm like him as a utility player, an alternate or something. I don't know, because he's having an awfully good year not to include him. All right, here is back to the top of the order, and Rick Manning. Clutch situation for Manning. He will gain a couple of hits, 210 and 3-4. That's a 5-11. That's ground ball first base X. Alvin Davis is a 4. 4-19. He gets to it. E9 at first base. The only errors on E9. He's got a few of them. 3, 7, 14, 17, and 18. And that is a 7. So we get an error on Mr. Davis. 7 is the first number in the E9 category. So Davis boots it, and the inning will continue. Swain will go to third on the E3 by Alvin Davis. Usually reliable Alvin Davis, but not this time. And now Robin Yount is up in the clutch situation. Yount actually in the clutch here. Looks like he's rated neutral. He's completely neutral in the clutch. 4-3, and that's a ballpark single check, but once again, it's only a 1-5. And that will be another liner to short to end the inning. But 2 runs come in for the Brew Crew, and they lead it 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. Hello, Astro. See you. All right. Teddy Higuera has been given a 2-0 lead to work with. And I've got to check the rosters on the real All-Star team to see how many players actually were there. Right now, what I try to do is just pick 2 at every position, and then backups for like 6 outfielders, and then 2 at every other position, and then 10 pitchers. But I may have to find a spot to be able to squeeze Dale Swain in there, because he's an awfully good player to leave out. I may have to add him just for general purpose. All right, so here's Jim Presley, the Hound Dog. He will lead off. He's hitting 207 on the replay, 13 homers, 51 driven in. He hit 247 real world. That's a 211, and that's going to be a base on balls for the Hound Dog, Jim Presley. Do something here real quick. There we go. Okay. So Alvin Davis is going to try to make up for the error. Fortunately for the Brewers, the error didn't cost them as far as a run. Here's Davis. He's hitting 282 on the replay, 15 homers, 44 driven in. He hit 295 real world. 2-6, and against the lefty, that's a fly ball to right field. 1 away. Boy, against a righty, that would have most likely been a hit, but not against the lefty. So there's 1 away for Mickey Brantley, right fielder. Brantley's hitting 281 on the replay, 6 homers, 15 driven in. He hit 302 real world. 311 against the lefty. That's a ballpark single again. Again, not very good. 1-5. But he gets the base hit this time. Base hit, and Presley will go to second base. Only a 1 base advancement on ballpark singles. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, John Christensen. He had 80% of his at-bats came against lefties. Only 20% came against righties, so that's why he's in this game. Christensen in 88 at-bats so far on the replay is hitting 239, 3 homers, 11 driven in. He hit 242 real world. So it's pretty much right on pace where he should be. 4-5, and that is a fly to center. 2 down. And now it's going to be all up to Mr. Ray Quinones. And, of course, he won the game real world with a walk-off 3-run homer in the bottom of the 11th off of Plesac. See what he can do here against Higuera. Quinones on the replay hitting 252, 5 homers, 29 driven in. He hit 276 in the real season. It is a clutch situation. Against lefties, he loses a hit on 2-7. It's a 5-5, and that'll be a base hit. That'll score a run for sure. 5-5. One is a triple. Anything else will be a single. And that's a base hit, 2 stars. Presley will score, cuts the lead to 2-1. Brantley motors over to third. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. RBI single from Ray Quinones. And that brings up the Seattle Mariners' lone representative on the All-Star team, Mr. Harold Reynolds. Reynolds is hitting .305 on the replay. No homers, 25 driven in. Hit .275 real world. In the clutch against lefties, he will lose lots of hits. 1-9, 110, 2-9, 210, and 3-4. So he loses 5 hits in the clutch. That's a 4-8, and that's going to be a strikeout for Mr. Higuera. So Mariners get 1 back, cut the lead in half. It's 2-1 after 2 from the Kingdome. Top of the third we go, and both pitchers have 7 for their fatigue, so they can go a while if they're effective. As a matter of fact, in the real game, both pitchers went 9 innings. It went 11 in the full game, but they both went 9 innings before going to the bullpen. So I have no qualms about pitching them 9 innings if they're pitching well. Here's Cecil Cooper. 6'6", and that's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Quinones. He's a 3, E31. 3-2, that's a base hit. E31, he's got to avoid a whole lot of numbers. 3, 4, 6. It's 3, 4, 6, and then 15 through 18. And he got lucky there to 12. So it's only going to be a single for Cooper. Only a single for Cooper, no error on Quinones. That'll bring up Greg Crocodile Brock. 5-7, and that is going to be a single to right field, and that'll put runners at first and second. Cooper, no way, is going to try to take an extra base. It's not very fast. So with nobody out, he's going to hold there for Rob Deere. Five, 3. That's a ground ball pitcher X to Mike Moore. He's an E12. He is a 2E12. Computer says he's a 2 range. Card says he's an E12. So it's a 2E12 for Mike Moore. 2 and a 17. 2 and a 17 is a G1. So we could get a double play out of this. He's an E12, so a pitcher, E12. Let's see here. E12, he's got to avoid 3, 6, 12, 15, and 18. And that is a 16. Is that one of the ones he's got to avoid? E12. No, 15 is what he had to avoid. 16, he's okay. So G1, let's look at the G1. G1, where are you, G1? Right here, G1. Runners at first and second. Infield is in because the pitcher is considered to be in all the time. So it's a double play, 1 to 4 to 3. So it's a 1-4-3 double play. Going to third is Cooper, but now there are 2 away. Two down, and it's going to be all up to B.J. Surhoff in the clutch. Surhoff in the clutch. Gained some hits, 1-8, 1-9, and 2-2. This, however, is a 5-6, and that's going to be a fly to right field to end the inning. So Mike Moore pitches out of the mess. Good morning, Jeremiah. So Moore pitches out of the mess and keeps the score at 2-1. So we head to the bottom of the third. It'll be the top of the order, John Moses, followed by Bradley and Valley. And we get a 3-7. And that's going to be a ground ball to Swain at short, 1 away. One down for Phil Bradley. 3-8 for Bradley, and that's a strikeout. If I was ever going to do an anti-All-Star game, Joe Carter would be the leading vote getter, but Phil Bradley would be right behind him. All right, here's Dave Valley. 2-6, and that's a ground ball to third. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Mariners. And we go the fourth inning. It's still 2-1 Milwaukee. This game was 2-2 after 9 innings, real world, until the 3-run homer in the 11th. Won it for the Mariners, 5-2. So top of the fourth. Leading things off will be Ernest Riles. 4-7, and that's going to be a 1-11 single. 1-11 single, 12-20 is a line out. And that's a base hit. Ernest Riles. Leadoff single. They will not hold Riles on. Here's Jimmy Gantner. Good morning, Dan. 4-3 for Gantner, and that's a walk. So that's going to put runners at first and second. Moore is, pardon the pun, in more trouble for that guy, Dale Swain, who's bucking to force his way onto the All-Star team, and he's doing a good job of it. He had a big double his first time up, a 2-run double. Counted for both of the runs. It's a 6-9, and he's going to have more damage done. 1-8 is a triple. 9-20 is another double. And that's another double for Dale Swain, another potential 2-run double. We know Riles is going to score. Again, Gantner, trail runner not being held is a 14. There are no outs, though, so we can't add 2 for that. Doubles assumed to go to center. It's a 0 arm for Moses. So it'll be a 1-14 if they want to send Gantner. You know what? I think with Swain, he wants the RBI, so we're going to send it 1-14. And he's in there. So it's another 2-run double for Dale Swain. I'm going to have to find a place for him on the All-Star team now. That's RBIs number 59 and 60 on the replay. And it is now 4-1 Brew Crew. Dale Swain single-handedly beating the Mariners right now. 2 2-run doubles. And now there's still nobody out for Rick Manning. 1-6 for Manning. He grounds it to short, and that'll freeze Swain at second base. 1 away. Moore trying to regroup. Here comes Robin Yount. 2-8 for Yount, and that is a fly to center. 2 down. And it's up to Cecil Cooper in the clutch situation. And Cooper is really good in the clutch. He gains a hit 1-9, 110, 2-8, 2-12, and 3-5. He gains 5 hits in the clutch. It's a 1-6. He didn't find one of those hits. It's a ground ball to Reynolds, and that'll end the inning. But 2 more runs for the Brew Crew. And they lead it 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Higuera given that 4-1 lead. He's looking for win number 9 on the replay. And right now he's going to be facing the hound dog, Jim Presley, followed by Alvin Davis and Mickey Brantley. Presley walked and scored his first time up. 2-9 for Presley. Rounds it to third. Riles takes care of it. 1 away. 1 down for Alvin Davis. Only lefty in the lineup. Oh, like that slipped out. Let's try that again. 5-2, and it's a ground ball back to Higuera. Quickly 2 away. And that brings up Mickey Brantley, right fielder. 3-6, and that's going to be a home run, 1-14 for Mickey Brantley. 3-6, a 1-14 is a home run, 15-20 is a double. And that's a home run for Mickey Brantley. Mariners get one of those runs back. Mickey Brantley, that's his 7th home run on the replay. He had 14 real world. RBI number 16 for Mickey Brantley. And that'll bring up the DH, John Christensen. Now it's 4-2 ball game. That is a 5-10. And that's going to be a catcher X. So we're going to Surhoff. He's a 3. 3 and an 11. But nobody's on base, so there can't be any pass balls or wild pitches. 3-11 is going to be a pop-up, assuming there's no error. His error rating is an E5. And E5 for a catcher, he's got to avoid 4, 16, 17, and 18. Ooh, 15. I think he's okay. I think it was 16 and E7, right? Oh, E5 rather. 15 is good. 16, 17, and 18 errors, but 15 is good. So it's going to be a pop-up to Surhoff to end the inning. But the Mariners do get a run on the home run from Brantley, cut the lead to 4-2 as we go to the 5th here at the Kingdome on this Wednesday, July the 8th, 1987. Mike Moore back out. He does okay, seemingly, until he gets to Dale Swain. Then he has problems. Here's Greg Brock. 4-12, and that's a fly ball right field X. We're looking at Brantley, 2E6 for Mickey Brantley. 2 with an E6. 2-12, we'll get to that. E6, the only outfield errors for a right fielder in an E6 are 3, 4, 14, 17, and 18. 3, 4, 14, 17, and 18. And 12 is just fine. So Brantley makes the play. Brock is out, 1 away for Mr. Rob Deere. Deere is 0 for 2. He hit into a double play his first time, or his last time up. 5-8, and this one he'll fly at the center field. John Moses is there, 2 down. And that's going to take us to Mr. Surhoff. Surhoff is 1 for 2. 5-7, and that's a base hit, make him 2 for 3. 2-out single for Surhoff will bring up Ernest Riles, or Ernie Riles if you prefer. Oh, that one didn't go through the chute there. Okay. 4-9, and that's going to be a single to center field. That'll put runners at first and second. They're not going to try to send Surhoff. He's already in scoring position, so no sense making a gamble there. And it'll be up to Jimmy Gantner in a clutch situation. And Moore wants to get Gantner. He doesn't want to face Swain with people on base. So he better get Gantner. Gantner in the clutch is going to lose a hit on 110. So it behooves Mike Moore to get Jim Gantner. 4-6, and he doesn't do it. He walks him, and that's going to bring up Surhoff with the bases loaded. Not what Mike Moore wanted to see. Dale Swain up in a clutch situation. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And in the clutch for Swain, he will gain some hits, 1-4 and 110, and also 310. He's doubled twice, got 4 runs batted in. 5-10. Fly ball center field X. They might get him out this time if Moses can make the play. He's a 2E5. Whoa, a 2 and a 2. That's going to make it dangerous. I'm not sure if he gets to that. 2 and a 2 is going to be a single 2 stars. So 2 more runs batted in for Swain. He's going to have 6 runs batted in already, as Moses couldn't quite get to that. Make sure there's no error. He's an E5. E5, and on the E5, he's got to award 4, 16, 17, and 18, which he does. But it's a 2-run single for Swain. He's got 6 runs batted in this game. Gives him 62 runs batted in on the season replay now. And Mike Moore just shaking his head. They're going to try to get him through the inning and see if they can get him out of there after 5 innings. Here's Rick Manning. 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. So we're looking at Reynolds. He's a 2E21. 2-19 is good. E21 at second base for Mr. Reynolds. He has to avoid 4, 13, and 17. And he does to make the play to end the inning. But 2 more runs come in for the Brew Crew. All 6 runs driven in by Dale Swain. And that's going to do it for Mike Moore. He is toast. He will go 5 innings, give up 6 runs, all earned, 11 hits. I don't know if he walked. Maybe he had 1 walk here. Maybe he had 2 walks. He walked Gantner twice to get to unfortunate walks to get to Swain. His only strikeout was the opening batter, Manning. That's the only strikeout he had. So it started really well for him, but then ended very poorly. And we'll figure out who the new pitcher for the Mariners will be in the top of the 6th. So Teddy Higuera all of a sudden given a huge lead to work with, 6-2 lead. And it'll be Quinones, Reynolds, and Moses due up. The 4-2, and that's going to be a ground ball right back to Higuera. And there's 1 away. Harold Reynolds stepping to the plate. 3-7, and he grounds it to Swain. 2 up, 2 down. Top of the order for Moses. 3-4, and he's going to pop it up to Gantner. So an easy 1-2-3 inning for Higuera. And now Seattle, Dick Williams has to see which relief pitcher draws the short straw here. It's going to probably be based on who's rested and who's not. So we go to the bullpen on the computer and see who's got the best rest. Available arms. Only 1 lefty. I'm sorry, 2 lefties. Stan Clark and Bill Wilkinson. 3 right-handers, Roy Thomas, Jerry Reed, and Ed Nunez. Nunez is the closer, so we're not going to use him. So one of those 4 will be coming on based on availability and fatigue and whatnot. So let's see who it is. Appears to be Roy Thomas. So Roy Thomas will be making his way in from the bullpen. He can go 3 innings, which is really good for Seattle. He can eat some innings for sure. So Roy Thomas is on. Get the numbers on Thomas. He was in the real season 1-0 with a 5.23 ERA in 21 innings of pitching. On the replay, let's get Thomas's numbers on the replay. He is 0-0 with an ERA of 7.27, 9 innings pitched, 14 hits, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. And he'll be facing Robin Yount to start the top of the 6th. What is now a 6-2 Brewer lead. So 1-9 for Yount, and that's a strikeout. So Thomas gets the strikeout. Here's Cecil Cooper. 4-8, and that's a base hit for Cooper. He's 2 for 4. 2 for 4, and that brings up Greg Brock. It's a 3-10 for Brock, and that's a fly ball to right field. Brantley hauls it in, 2 down. And that will take us to Rob Deere. That is a 3-6 for Deere, and he's going to strike out. So Thomas pitches a shutout inning. Keeps the score 6-2. And Teddy Higuera back out. And he'll be facing Bradley, Valley, and Presley. 1-8, and that's a base on balls. Second walk issued by Higuera. Bradley's got a decent chance to get a good lead here, so he's going to see if he can do it. Try to motivate their offense a little bit. Get something kick-started. He needs a 2-3-5 to get the good lead. Doesn't get it, so it doesn't matter. Here's Dave Valley. 5-3. It's ground ball first base C, and since Tribe Fan is here, he's the one that came up with the ground ball C being a 3-1 putout, so I've always stuck with it. So Brock will flip to Higuera covering with a 3-1 putout. Bradley going to second base for Jim Presley. That's a 4-5, and that is a fly to center, 2 down. The out hauls it in. 2-out clutch situation for Alvin Davis against the left-handers. In the clutch, he will lose a hit 2-8. That's the only place he's different. That's a 3-9, and that's going to be a split. 1-4 will be a single. 5-20 will be a lineout. And that's a base hit, 1 star, so Bradley will have to stop at third base. But runners are on the corners now for Brantley, who had a home run his last time up. He gets a home run here, they'll be right back in the game. Sure, Higuera probably not going to be giving up anything too easily this time around to Brantley. 4-6, and he walked him, in fact. That's going to load the bases for Christensen. That is the third walk for Higuera, second one of the inning. And now the bases are loaded. Tying run is at the plate in John Christensen in a clutch situation. Christensen in the clutch, though, will lose some hits, 1-6, 1-12, and 2-6. It was a little bit anti-clutch. That's a 111, and that's a ballpark single check, but it's only a 1-5. Only a 1-5. And that's a 13, so that doesn't cut it. He will leave the bases loaded. So Higuera pitches out of the mess. We go to the top of the 7th. Score still 6-2. Thomas back out, and he'll be facing Surhoff, Riles, and Gantner. But looming in the wings is Dale Swain. 3-5 for Surhoff. That's a ground ball to Reynolds. Easy play. 1 down. That will bring up Ernest Riles. 4-8. Base hit. At column 4 on Thomas is loaded with hits. So base hit for Riles. That'll bring up Gantner. That's hit number 13 on the game for the Brewers. Here's Gantner. 5-3. Ground ball pitcher X. He is a 3-E-0. I'm going to roll to make sure there's no rare play. There's not. He's a 3. So in order to turn a double play, it probably won't happen. He'd have to get a 17 or higher, turn double play. But as long as he gets a 4 or higher, at least get an out. Gets a 16. He just missed the double play. It's going to be a G2. So he'll get the fielder's choice 1-6. Gantner reaching on the fielder's choice. And here comes that man, Swain. Not a clutch situation with the runner just at first base. Oh, that went over the edge. So let's redo that again. I got my coffee cup, and I'm trying to dodge around my coffee cup and put these things in a small little hole of the dice tray. Sometimes with my left hand, that can be a little bit challenging. So let's move the coffee cup out of the way. Give me some room here. Here's Swain. 3-10. And look at that. That would have been a hit in the clutch. Dale Swain would have got a hit in the clutch, but we're not in the clutch. So it's going to be a fly to right field to end the inning. So Thomas escapes again. And we go to the 7th inning stretch with the score still 6-2 in favor of the Brew Crew. And a big out to get there for sure. This will be the fatigue inning for Teddy Higuera. He's got a number 7 right there, so it is his fatigue inning. We are at the 7th inning stretch. My coffee is now cool, so I need to heat that. So it's a good time to do the 7th inning stretch. Some people like it. Some people don't. I don't know, but got a couple of comments asking me last time I did it saying bring it back. So we'll at least bring it back for today anyway, so I can eat my coffee. So just a matter of convenience at this point, where it's a useful thing to do while I go heat my coffee. So 7th inning stretch time. 6-2 Brewers. And I'll be right back right after taking me out to the ball game. All right, we are back and ready to conclude this ball game. Here in the bottom of the 7th. And it'll be Quinones leading things off against Mr. Higuera. Coffee refreshed, so we're in good shape. And now here's Quinones. He's 1 for 2. 2-8. Ground ball to third. Riles has it. 1 down. And that'll bring up Harold Reynolds. 3-6. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. 2 down. John Moses, the batter. 2-7, and that's going to be a base on balls. That is the 4th walk issued by Higuera. Moses, good speed, but down 6-2. They're not going to take any chances. And here's Phil Bradley. It's a 2-9 for Bradley. Split 1-10's a single, and 11-20 is a line out. The kind of year Bradley's had, we're most likely going to get 11 through 20 here. No, it actually surprised me. It flipped to a 1, so there you go. Double die works out. So 1st and 2nd, 2 outs for Dave Valley. Clutch situation. And if Higuera gets a Valley to get on base via a walk or a single, he will reach fatigue. Valley in the clutch, gains a hit 2-5. It's a 4-3 though. Fly ball left field X. We're looking at the left fielder Deer. He's a 3 E10. 3-18, he'll get to that. E10. As a left fielder, the error chances on an E10 are quite a few. 3-4, but then it goes 14 through 18. So it's easy to remember. 3-4 or 14 through 18. And that's going to be an 11. That'll be just fine. And Deer will make the play. And so the Mariners, last thing, left the bases loaded in the clutch. This time they leave 2 runners on base in the clutch. So they got some LOBs to worry about here. That's 5, looks like 7 left on base through 7 innings. So they're leaving base runners out there. Hold on, Tabby is making some noises downstairs, so I need to check and make sure she's all right. Tabby, what's wrong, bro? And we have a cameo from Tabby. I don't know if she wants to be up here or not, but she was crying, so I had to go pick her up. Tabby, you doing all right? You don't want to be up here. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to be up here. You can jump back down. There you go. There you go. Okay. No, she was making these noises like she was upset about something, so I had to check it out. Make sure she was doing all right. Okay, so we go to the 8th inning. Thomas out for his 3rd inning of work. He does have a 3 for fatigue factor, so he's in good shape there. And make sure we move this over just a touch. All right, so Rick Manning will lead things off. 1-4 for Manny, and that's going to be a ground ball right back to Thomas for out number 1. So Thomas is pitching very well in relief right now. Okay, I think we're back. Hate when it does. I got to find some other way to log into YouTube or stream on YouTube, because the hitting the go live button in the YouTube app is messing things up quite a bit. Apparently, it's not my internet. My internet, it is something. It locked my whole computer up. I mean, it locked my Strat-O-Matic up. It locked everything up. So basically, all the inputs I just did in Strat-O-Matic are lost. I got to redo the game after the game is over, which is no big deal. It's just a big pain in the butt. So anyway, I'm not sure what you guys saw last, but what I did last before Tabby came on and made a cameo was Rick Manning led off grounding out to Roy Thomas. That's the last thing I did. I don't know what the last thing on the stream was, but that's the last thing I did. So we're going to pick it up now with Robin Yount. So Yount, 112, and as a foul out to Dave Valley, 2 down. For Cecil Cooper. That's a 2-7 for Cooper. Struck him out. So Roy Thomas pitching very well. He's going to go forward. He's going to try to finish the game with him. Why not? It's on 3 innings of shutout relief. Can't get any better than that. And that'll bring up the bottom of the 8th. And I'm looking at the stream through my phone. Seems like it's still a little bit, I don't know use the word choppy, but just as smooth as it should be. Maybe that'll correct itself here shortly. We'll find out. I just want to finish the stream. That's the main thing. Finish this game. All right, here's the Hound Dog, Jim Presley, facing Higuera. That is a 2-3, and that'll be a base hit for Jim Presley. So one more base runner, and Higuera will reach fatigue. Here's Alvin Davis, 5-9, and that is a strikeout for Higuera. Much needed out to get there for Higuera. Strikeout-wise, that's only his third strikeout of the game. So here's Mickey Brantley. Brantley, 4-7, and that's going to be a ground ball second base X. And Gantner's a 2E14, 2-12. Let's see if they can turn a double play on a 2-12. 2-12 is a G1, so they can turn double play as long as there's no error. 14, second base E14's got to avoid 15, 16, and 18. And we get a 14, so let's double check that. 14 on an E14, and he's safe. 15, 16 of the errors, not 14. So it will be a Giovanni's Tailor Shop, tailor-made double play, 4-6-3 DP to end the inning. Tailor-made double play there. Tailor-made double play sponsored by Giovanni's Tailor Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. If you're in that area and you have tailoring needs, be sure to stop by and see them. Tell them Demo sent you. They'll give you a discount. They're the unofficial sponsor of the channel, but the official sponsor of the Giovanni's Tailor Shop. Tailor-made double play of the game. All right. Still looks very, very choppy, but we'll try to finish it out. Here is Greg Brock. Oh, that got held up. And it was going along so smoothly for like the first 7 innings or so, and then all of a sudden wanted to cause problems. 1-8. That's a home run, 1-5. So Greg Brock's trying to cause problems for Roy Thomas. 1-8, a home runs, 1-5, 6-20 is a double. That'll be a double for Greg Brock. Start the 9th. And here's Rob Deere. 1-4 for Deere, struck him out. Third, actually fourth strikeout for Thomas. And that'll bring up BJ Surhoff. 2-4 for Surhoff, and that will be a ground ball to first. That'll get the runner Brock over to third, but now they're 2 away for Ernest Riles. Still a clutch situation by definition. So we got to keep an eye on the clutch results for Riles, which is only a 1-3. It's the only difference. 6-3, and that's a fly ball to left field X. We're looking at Phil Bradley. He is a 2E5. 2-5. I think he still gets to that. 2-5, he does. And an E5, he's got to avoid 4, 14, and 18. And 15 is just fine. So he barely avoids it, makes the catch. And how about that? Roy Thomas is going to go 4 innings in relief. He will need a couple of days off for sure. But he does save their bullpen. Absolutely saves their bullpen. He gives up just 3 hits and no runs in those 4 innings. He will end up with 4 strikeouts and no walks. So quite a performance there for Roy Thomas. 6-2, bottom of the 9th. Higuera going for the complete game. And he'll be facing Christensen, Quinones, and Reynolds. 4-8 against the righty is a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he is not tired yet. He's 1 batter away from being tired, but he's not tired yet. Here's Ray Quinones. There's a 1-7, and that's a strikeout again. So Higuera trying to finish with a bang. Last batter to face him is Harold Reynolds. Whoop, that didn't go through. Let's get this straight. 1-6 for Reynolds. He grounds it to Swain at short, and there's your ball game. Teddy Higuera goes the distance as the Brewers beat the Mariners by the score of 6-2. 6 runs, 14 hits, and no errors for Milwaukee. For Seattle, they had 1 error. That was on Alvin Davis. And let's see how many hits they were able to get off of Higuera. They got the 2 runs. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. So they get 6 hits. Higuera walked 4, struck out 5. So Teddy Higuera with the win. He improves to 9-5. Mike Moore, the loss, drops to 5-11. Milwaukee improves to 55-26 on the replay. And that concludes the July 8th schedule. Player of the game, unquestionably, was Mr. Dale Swain. 3 for 4, 6 runs batted in, 2-run double in the second, 2-run double in the fourth, and a 2-run single in the fifth. So Dale Swain is your player of the game. Later this afternoon, if you're interested in History Maker Golf, I will be doing the 3rd round of the Travelers Championship in History Maker Golf this afternoon. Tonight, of course, it's game number 51 in the Rockies Horror Baseball Show, 2025 Colorado Rockies. They'll be hosting the New York Yankees for the first of 3 games. And now we want to get the circles in the sand again, just in time, huh? All right. I don't know why it's keeping wanting to do that. I gotta find out from other folks how they stream onto YouTube, because going straight through the YouTube app just seems to be giving me problems all the time. So maybe I need to find an alternate. I'm not an OBS fan, so don't really care for OBS. But there's got to be a way to do it. So I'll try to figure out how to get that done at some point. Tomorrow will be the NBC game of the week, 1979, in Inside Pitch. So that'll be around 12:15, something like that Eastern on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we'll have the Sunday Basic Sunday, where we play Strat-O-Matic Basic 1962 season. Not sure the game yet, but because I haven't recorded it yet, but it'll be one of those games in 1962 where it's Strat Basic all the way. So that's going to do it from here. Brewers win it 6-2. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and we'll see you all down the road.